Hey guys, welcome to another episode of How to Be an Adult. If you're running a small business or a freelance practice or you're part of the first steps of a startup, you'll get to the point where your clients start piling up amounts due to your business, and at some point it's going to get harder to track them. Let's say if you have just one client, you have their receivables listed and you can always see what's due. And maybe you can do the same thing if you have two clients. But once you start piling up all those different clients with different receivables, it's going to get harder to track what's due, and if some clients are having some overdue receivables, or what we call in the industry aged receivables. Something that can help you in such a situation is an receivables aging report, and most ERPs and accounting softwares have this built in. But a lot of times, if you're using a simple system, a simple accounting software, you might not have that, or it might not be configured properly due to the size of your business. So today I want to take a brief look at the lookup function in Excel and how you can use it to really fast and really easy make your own aging report. By the way, if you're enjoying the content that I'm putting up lately, give the video a thumbs up and show your support by sharing it with friends and family and subscribing if you're not. I noticed from my analytics that over 90% of you watching are actually not subscribed, and it just takes one click, and it's much appreciated because it helps me grow. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's a breakdown of our receivables, and as you can see, we've piled quite the list, and we have the invoice date for each invoice, the outstanding amount, and the maturity date. And one thing we can do is we can filter those and see that we have some invoices all the way from 2019, and we can just look at those. But there's still quite a few, so we cannot easily get the big picture. And in order to do that, I'm just going to remove the filter. And I'm going to add two columns. The first one is going to be our days overdue. Let me just format that to make it a bit more nicer. And the second one will be our aging group. And aging, you can type it with the E or without the E, doesn't matter. Okay, and our days overdue, we're going to calculate from the current date. Let's say it's the 30th of June, 2020. I'm going to fix that with F4 and subtract the maturity date. And if the amount is positive, this means that we have some days overdue. But as we start bringing it down, we see that if there's still time for them to pay the invoice, we get a negative number. That's why we're going to cut this whole minus thing, and we're going to put it in an if statement. So if this is above 0, we want to get this, and otherwise we just want a 0. You can skip this part, and I'm going to show you how to take care of that if you skip it in the aging group formula. And we're going to start typing it right now. We're going to use the lookup formula, and we're going to use the first type that they show us with the lookup vector and the result vector. So vectors are typed in curly brackets. And this is going to be our ranges. So minus 9,999 to 0 is going to be our not due if we didn't take care of the negative numbers. Then we're going to go to 90 days, 180 days, 1 year, 2 year. It's typical to do that with 360 and 720 instead of 365. And 9,999 is going to be our top number. And then we start listing our groups. Our first group is going to be not due, then 0 to 30 days, and so on. And you can see that I'm typing the number of the group, and I skipped it here. Just gonna go back and add it. And this is because otherwise it's just gonna order it alphabetically, and I want them to be ordered the way I want them to be ordered. That's why I'm typing them with 0, 1, 2, 3 in front. The fourth one, actually the fifth one, number 4, is gonna be our 180 to 360. Then we're gonna have our 360 to 720, or 1 to 2 years. And it's important that you get in your result vector, you get one result less than your lookup vector. So your lookup vectors are your ranges, and to get the 6, you get the 7 actually lookup values that you can get in between those 8 numbers. Okay, we can see that our 0 gives us 0 to 30 days aging group, and we want it to be not due, so I'm just gonna change the formula to 1 instead of 0. And I forgot to change it for the other invoices. I'm gonna add a pivot table of our whole table. And we're gonna order the client number and the client name, and I'm gonna go into the design tab. I don't want any subtotals, and I want it to be in a tabular form so it's more presentable. Then I'm gonna add the outstanding amount, and I'm gonna separate it on the columns with an aging group. And you can see now that our aging groups are ordered nicely, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we don't have 6. And by formatting it, we can instantly see where our overdue receivables are. So see that almost everything is in our 0 to 30 and 30 to 90 days, but we have this client with some overdue receivables, but it appears that we're still working with them, which means that maybe there's no issue. But here, those 2 clients, you can see that they have some really overdue receivables, but nothing recent. So maybe we stopped working with them and they still haven't cleared their old amounts due. And you can see that just by adding 2 columns and using the lookup formula, it was easy to note the clients that we have some issues with. Okay guys, that was it. Just a quick tip in Excel on how to use the lookup function with the 2 arrays, and be able to prepare your own aging of trade receivables. Keep in mind that you can do that for any kind of data. So let's say I often do it for inventories. Let's say we have inventory that we're selling or producing and selling or reselling. What you can do is you can approach it the same way, but instead of the maturity date, use the date when it was produced and your lifespan of the product. So let's say when it starts to get too old for the market. And you can follow the same approach and prepare your aging of inventory. And so I hope this was useful. Give it a thumbs up if it was. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and maybe even punch that bell icon to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Till then, thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Today we're taking another look at an envelope. Welcome to Hey guys! First steps of a startup. You have welcome to another episode. So